Hi there, Rick Wolf with Artistic Awning and Screen. Let's talk about awnings. One of the most popular features we have with our awnings is motorization. It makes the operation of your awning exceptionally easy. All you need to do is take your remote and push the down button, and out it comes. Now that it's reached its preset limits, to put it back in, take your remote again, just push the up key, and it'll retract. When your awning is installed, our installers will set both the outer and the inner limit of your awning. The outer maximizes its full extension. There are times that may not be what you want. You may want to stop it at an intermediate point, maybe for extra headroom, or maybe the sun's not quite as low at that time of the day and you want to maximize your view. What you can do is set a my position. So you take it to the location you want the awning to stop, take your remote, press and hold the my button until the awning jogs. So now that position is set as a secondary location. So if the awning is in all the way and you hit the my button, this is where it'll stop. If it's out, hit the my button, this is where it'll stop. If you want to erase it and program a new one, that's easy. Hit the my button, bring it to its location, then press and hold the my key again until the awning jogs. That's been erased. So now we're back to original settings, inner and outer limits only. The care and maintenance of your awning material is very simple. A warm, soapy water, take pretty much everything off. Give it a full rinse afterwards just to make sure all the detergent is taken off of the fabric. Then let it air dry before you roll it back in. One of the features your awning may have is what we call a pitch adjust. What that does is it gives us the opportunity to camber each end or both sides of your awning to get a different effect. So in the case of light rain perhaps, where you want to have one end a little bit lower than the other so the moisture will drip off on one side, you can take your crank, insert it into the pitch adjust channel at the top, and crank it. It's marked right on there, which way's up, which way's down. I want to drop this one down, I'm going to lower it just a little bit, and that'll help the rain come off this side. If I wanted to lower the front even further to get more shade from a low sun, I can drop both down. This feature actually allows these awnings to tilt down almost to a 45-degree angle, giving you a huge amount of extra shade. Another feature that comes along with our motorized awnings is a wind sensor. What this does is it gives you a backup in case the wind pops up when you're not looking, and it'll save your awning from any damage that might occur from a high wind. The wind sensors are located on the front bar of all your awnings, installed there when we do the installation of your awning. It will either be on the front, on either side, depending on which side the motor is of your awning. It's usually located either underneath or on the very front of the bar. To take it off, it's quite simple. There's actually a lock and unlock notes right on top of the sensor. You just push it sideways and it unlocks and comes off in your hand. You want to do this because you do want to regular maintenance on it to make sure the batteries are fully functional and fully charged. So to check that, you take it, you turn it over. We need to pop the back of it out and flip it over. And then we've got our motor, our batteries. And if you want to check the value of the battery in there, all you have to do is press and hold the little button inside and the light will flash, meaning the batteries are fine. You can flip it back over, pop it in, and put it back. And if you want to test it, you don't need to wait for a big wind. You can just give it a good shake. And it'll go in all on its own. Wind sensors are not to be relied on as the only way to save your awning from wind. It's a backup system. Keep an eye on it. If wind comes up, please bring your awning in. Check your batteries on a regular basis. And one thing you'll notice, if your awning is coming in without it being shaken or without any wind, the batteries are probably dead. One of the great features about our awnings is that we have our patented Marquesa bar available for most of our awnings. The Marquesa gives us an opportunity to have a much higher headroom inside, and it also gives us an ability to keep the fabric tighter during wind. However, one of the problems that does pop up with the Marquesa bar is sometimes it gets off-centered. And in this case, we have one that's kind of extended out on one side. It's an easy fix though, and I'll show you how to do that. So as you can see, This Marquesa bar is extended quite a ways out this side of the awning. It's a fairly easy fix though. Grab onto the Marquesa bar, and if you can reach the inner arm, do that and just push it back in. One of the other issues that does pop up with these now and then, if it's caught in a heavy wind, is it'll come off its inner pins. If that happens, please give us a call. We'll have a team come out and take care of it for you. One other thing people like to do in the winter especially is remove this extra piece of fabric in the front. It's called a valance. Now it may look, in this case, like it's all one piece, awning all the way through, but it's actually a separate piece. So this can be taken off and stored inside for the winter just to keep it looking fresh. And I'll show you how to do that. First thing we need to do is remove the end cap. There's only 2 screws, and you can do this from either end of the awning. And so now, just to remove the valance, you grab the valance and pull it towards you. The spline will come with it, and then you take the spline right out of the fabric for storage. You can fold this up, just don't put it into a plastic bag. That can actually cause some mold. Then in the spring, reinsert the spline into the top channel, slide it all back in, and line up your fabric, and replace the cap. One of the things we get phone calls in the office for are awnings that look like this. The client is saying their awning's broken. What it is, generally, is that the pitch adjustment hasn't been done properly. So all you need to do is go back, change the pitch back to square. And there we have it. One thing, always try to remember, get your pitches back up to the top maximum before you retract your awning. Let's talk about our manual operations for our awnings. For these awnings, we use the crank that we're provided. So in order to operate this awning, we go to the motor side or the adjustment side of the awning, and we insert the crank into the eyelet. So as you can see at the end of this awning, we have 2 separate eyelets. We have to make sure we're using the appropriate one to extend or retract our awning. The inner one, attached to the arm, is for its pitch. We don't want to be using that one to try and extend it. We'll just be cranking that and nothing will happen. This is the one we want to use attached to our roll at the top. We insert our crank, and then out it goes. Now in bringing it out, we don't want to go too far. We want to bring the arms almost to straight, but not too far. If they do go too far, they'll lock, and in order to get them back in, put a little bit of pressure on them and give them a push, and you're back in business again. Always make sure that you're cranking it the right direction so that the fabric is going up over the top of the roll, not underneath. Hi, I'm Rick Wolf with Artistic Awning and Screen. We've made these videos to show general use, care and maintenance, and troubleshooting. Anything not covered in here, you can contact us either by phone or on our website. Artistic Awning and Screen, we've got you covered.